guys, what is going on? Blossom is back and welcome back to another episode of Top Drives. Now in today's video we're going to split it into two different sections. Part 1, I'm going to be covering the 20.0 update patch notes. I'm going to give you a quick summary and a crash course of that. And part 2, I want to be looking at the winners and losers from some of the cars that got stat changes in this update. There's always going to be drama and there's always going to be controversy when it comes to, car changes. But before we get into the controversial stuff, let's talk about what I think is generally is good news. I see some really good things going on here with update PL 20. Well, people say don't say PL in 20.0. You know what I mean, okay? So yeah, embark on your voyage with our new season takeover, the Wayfinder. So some people were confused, I myself included. Is the update called the Wayfinders or is the update called Asia Pacific Grand Prix? Well, the update is actually called Asia Pacific Grand Prix. The Wayfinder thing is kind of like summer vacation. It's just the name of the season, but the entire update in general is just called Asia Pacific. I think it's a really cool logo. It looks like they're really focusing on that green and gold. I forgot the name of this car, the Bratwurst or whatever it is, the Australian car. And I do like the Dragon. It's pretty cool. So let's talk about season prize cars. So basically these are your next two prize cars for the month of August. Now, I really like that Hutch is doing this. I like how they're releasing and telling you what the future prize cars are going to be for the next month. I think that's really cool. And it lets us plan, and it lets us not only plan financially, but kind of brace ourselves for what's to come. So, for this season, the season of July or whatever, the next two prize cars were the Evo Spider as well as the Alpha. And I personally didn't really care about either of them, so it was nice because now I knew that, okay, for the month of July, I can spend my money on other things. I don't need to leave $400 lying around for the next two Tri-Series prize cards just so I can open the 15 packs from each Tri-Series, you know what I mean? So it's kind of nice that you can plan financially, you know what the next two prize cards are coming out. I gotta say, August, way better than July. July just didn't really interest me, but for August, I've been wanting that Yesco attack for quite some time, so I'm really interested to see what the MRA of that car is going to end up being. If the MRA isn't fantastic, I gotta be honest, 95 handling is actually garbage for an RQ96 real drive performance tire car. So the MRA, I'm banking on the MRA. The Yesco attack does not have amazing MRA, like we're talking 125 plus. Then I don't give a damn. Pagani Huayra R looking pretty good. Very sexy car as well, just basically entirely carbon fiber. It looks really, really cool. And then the next collection series. I like this one. I like the theme. I also like I kind of guess the ethos, the meaning behind the unicorns. It's very simple, just like mythical creatures. These are going to be cars that are incredibly rare, and I think you can't really go wrong with that. Cars that are incredibly rare are cars that are incredibly rare. Like the most recent one, the current one that's running right now, which is like road most traveled, I don't really get it, I don't really understand the meaning of it. It just seems like it's just all Porsche. It's a Cayenne, came on. Like, I don't really understand, but this one, is very straightforward. It's very pedestrian in terms of meaning. Incredibly rare cars, things that I can basically predict that are going to be in this tag. F1 LM, obviously incredibly rare. Another car I can think of is like the Aston Martin 177. Incredibly rare car. Aston Martin DB3S. I would expect a lot of classic cars in this one. And even the Bufori, because obviously that's going to be a brand new brand that is coming to Top Drives in PL20. Sorry, Update 20. And Bufori, I mean, a lot of people are like, what the hell is Bufori? I wouldn't have known what Bufori would have been if I didn't move to Malaysia, but I did. So I don't even see them here. I've been living in Malaysia for like almost 3 years now. I've seen the Bufori a grand total of 2 times. So yeah, it is incredibly freaking rare, and I don't think it will even exist outside of this country. So yeah, moving on, that's going to be pretty interesting for the unicorn stuff, and then we talk about the Asia Pacific car wave. So I'm going to be honest with you guys, I don't think this is a good news kind of thing unless you love Mazda, unless you are Bunny, or unless you love Korean cars. Hear me out, right? Asia Pacific car wave. 366 new cars from the Asia Pacific region join the race in Top Drive's biggest car update ever. Yeah, 366 new cars. Now, the thing is, on a superficial level, that should be something that we should get excited about. Oh my god, there's a bunch of new cars. But some of us that, maybe find it too much, it's like, oh my god, 366 new cars. I mean, if you want to max, then all the new 366 new cars, you will need 366 times 15. You will need 5,490 cars that are used for fuse material to max out your 366 new cars. But that's not the thing that worries me. What worries me is that literally all we've freaking seen from this update are new Mitsubishis, new Mazdas. These are two brands that already exist in the game. Hyundai, Bufori, and some Holdens. Now, from 366 cars, are we really expecting literally 366 over 5 brands? Now, here's the thing, right? The Australian ones, I think there's another Australian brand that's new. It's the one that's called Bratwurst, and then there's the other one, I think it's called like the Gyatakoto or whatever it is called. I don't know, but they seem very, very obscure. I don't think they're going to bring a lot of cars. I don't think Bufori is going to bring a lot of cars, max maybe 10. I think in terms of cars that really has a massive pool of, I'm going to say in quotes, variety, it's going to be the Hyundais, the Mitsubishis, and the Mazdas, okay? So 366 brand new cars. I'm going to say let's deduct maybe 50 for the obscure brands. I think all the obscure brands are going to add up to about 50. That's 316 cars left. Divide that literally by Mitsubishi, Hyundai, and Mazda, so divided by 3. We're getting, I mean, it's a lot of new cars, but think about it this way. Like, they're going to be, I'm going to predict like 100 new Mitsubishis, 100 new Hyundais, and 100 new Mazdas. Is that really what you want compared to the massive update of last year when we got Mercedes and Porsche? We got Hennessy. This one is just like, huh? Really? I mean, the thing is, right, like cars like Bufori and Hyundai and even Mitsubishi to some degree, they're kind of just like side characters. You know what I mean? I know I'm probably gonna piss off Bunny. I love you, Bunny, don't worry. But seriously, they're kind of like side characters. Like, where's the big stuff? Where's the wow factor? Okay, in this sense, like they could have I think wow factors would be like Honda, like a Honda revamp or a Nissan revamp. I know it just kind of had a Nissan revamp of JPT, but like, yeah, I would feel like Nissan and Honda is just bigger than, Mazda, for example, or even Mitsubishi. But I don't know, man, 105 Mitsubishis, that's if I averaged it out by like 300 new cars from the calculations that I did just now. I'm not good at math, but 100 new Mitsubishis, really, what do they really have to offer? Next thing you know, we're going to be seeing the elevators in the game. But let's look at some of these. So we have the Mirage Top, whatever. I mean, AT handling center tires doesn't look too bad. The Hyundai i20N looks okay, like 94 handling for an IQ46. Looks like it will rival the French hatchbacks and the Bufori CS prototype. I did some research on this car yesterday. I gotta say, I actually kind of like it. And the main reason why is because that thing is literally a Chrysler 300. For those that don't know, and I think all of us don't know, I didn't know until yesterday. I did some research on the Before CS prototype. It has a Chrysler 300 engine. It is powered by Mopar. There is a Hemi in there. The entire infotainment system of this Bufori literally comes from a Chrysler 300, which I think is kind of funny because they think that they're luxury and they think that luxury is defined by the Chrysler 300 when it really isn't. But anyway, ID handling is kind of sus though, I gotta be honest. But yeah, that's cool. Then the new store UI, user interface. So I don't know why. I don't know what the X stands for. I mean, to put it simply, it's just an easier way for you guys to spend your money. That's literally it. It does look a little cleaner, a little bit cleaner, which is cool. New environment, dockyard, so that's pretty cool as well. I always enjoy. I don't think there are any new car models this time, though, right? It's just a new environment. So we're seeing things like cargo ships. That's new to Top Drives. I hope the water texture is a little better than what we see over here. The water here just looks kind of like it looks like gel instead of water. It looks like resin. It looks like blue resin. So I hope hopefully that looks a little bit better, because the water on Ocean Long Drag looks really good, so hopefully that's going to be a little bit better. But yeah, we have a new track set. Is this going to be twisty? Is this going to be fast? It looks like a twisty track set, but only time will tell. I wish they added more Tokyo track sets. I thought that would be really cool, like a Tokyo, well, Tokyo Highway already exists, I guess, but maybe like a Tokyo countryside, you know, or something like that. Tokyo country, like a Japanese countryside, that would be cool. Then you can see like the cherry blossoms and everything. But yeah, that's cool. And then there's a new UI update for challenges, so it just looks, I don't know, I think it just looks like there are a lot more gradients everywhere. So yeah, but that's cool that they're taking player feedback for it though. And then track set preview screen. So this one's the massive one. This one's huge. We don't need to kind of rely on Discord to look for track sets anymore. We can directly look at the track sets, which is really nice, because going into an event without knowing what the track sets are is a really stressful experience, because obviously you are jeopardizing your ghost hand. So now that it tells you, I gotta say, man, this game has been around for like 5+ years, and we're just getting this feature, which is a little bit sad, but at least we're going in the right direction, so that's cool too. And last but not least, high FPS support. So an option to run races at a higher frame rate, 60 or 120 FPS, depending on your device specs. That's cool. Definitely on my iPad, I'll be running 120 frames per second. I'll be doing that on BlueStacks as well. It's just going to look a lot more smoother. And yeah, gone are the days where Top Drives is considered like a small megabyte or a small storage game. Top Drives is a big game, and I'm all for it. So that's really cool. And then the card corrections we'll get through really quickly. So let's look at the bug fixes real quick. Fix an issue where red dots on challenges would display events where you currently play. Yep, that's really annoying. Fix an issue where the fusion menu would not appear for players who have unlocked duplicate legendaries. Oh, okay, I've never had this bug issue before, so that's surprising. But you know, obviously some of you guys probably had it if they have to fix it. Fix an issue where in-app purchases could sometimes result in error. Okay, yep, Hutch just wants money. Fix an issue where cars would stutter or skip the finish line. I kind of like this bug. I thought it was kind of funny, like just like 1 in 20 I would just see my car just run off the track set or run backwards. It's kind of funny, not gonna lie. Fix an issue where text in some areas the game would appear very small when it's set to Japanese. So again, it doesn't really affect me. I do read a little bit of Japanese, but I do not play my game in Japanese. Fix an issue where the RQ filter in the garage displayed as QC in English. I literally did, okay, I've just not seen that before. But anyway, over here are your winners and losers, and basically every single RQ change, as well as every single RQ change is over here, and every single car correction is over here as well. Feel free to check that out whenever you want. The link is going to be here in the website, and I'll have the link in the description below. But let's move on to the winners and losers. Alright, welcome to section 2 of the video. I'm basically taking my favorite picks from that very boring looking spreadsheet, and I'm putting it into this so it's more nice and colorful, basically. Biggest winners and losers. So if it's a blue background, it's a winner. If it's a red background, it is a loser in my opinion. So Powerbox finally getting a buff. Yes, literally since the beginning of American Frontier, I was like, how the hell is this car not off-road tires? And finally it is! And I gotta say, dude, that's gonna be looking pretty good. 79 handling 4-wheel drive off-road tires, adding on to that American niche is gonna probably beat the GMC now. That's really good, honestly. I'm looking forward to that. It's going from RQ56 to 63, and it finally gets the tires it deserves. Also gets the eco-friendly tag. Sure. Now moving on, another buff. Well, not really a buff, not really a nerf. In my opinion, I think this is a great equalizer. Is the Audi R18. So the Audi R18 is going from 126 to 100 MRA, but it's getting a handling buff of 99 to 100. For the most part, I think it's equalized. I have seen some people complaining like, oh no, the TDI Ultra is gonna be crap now. Guys, can we not forget that it's going like 2 handling? It's gonna go be over 100. Like when you max it out, it's gonna be 111 freaking handling. Like dude, like be happy. 111, 112 maybe. Yeah, MRA is going down, but 100 MRA is still good. And I think, to be fair, 126 MRA was a little bit too good for the R18 anyway. A lot of the LMP cars are, you know, around that 100 to 100 128 range, kind of. So 126 was just like, come on, man, like this is not a Koenigsegg Jesko. This is a car that is meant for handling, that has decent MRA. But anyway, I don't think it's a big deal. It's not like you guys are going around drag specking your TDI Ultra. I'm pretty sure you guys are not that stupid, right? But anyway, moving on, this one is a massive drop, a massive nerf. RQ22 to 20, but honestly, this thing is gonna go down to common. That's minus 11 handling. Well, not 11, my math is terrible. Minus 9 handling. Ain't no way that only means a -2 RQ. It's because Hutch doesn't want to make a rarity change just yet, even though it's been a year since the introduction of tokens. But yeah, this is pending to drop. No way it's going to be an uncommon. It's going to be one of the worst uncommons in the game right now, and then it will probably drop to common in the future. Moving on, another one that caught my attention was the Ford Taurus Show 1993. It's going from RQ30 to 39. Handling is going down from 73 to 72, but it is getting performance tires changed to standard tires. So that's going to be an 80 handling standard tire car, which is pretty decent with standard tires, with medium ground clearance as well, and that very useful saloon tag. Moving on, another buff is going to be the 908 HDI Fab. This is getting an RQ increase. It's going from RQ 102 to 100, and it's getting an RQ increase from 99 to 100. So that is massive. The fact that it's getting cheaper to use and the handling is literally going to improve. Next up is the 911 GT3 RSR. This is getting a massive nerf. This car was always known to me as a sleeper because it had, or still has, a 119 MRA. That being said though, it is going to go from RQ 89 to 88, and Hutch has mentioned that it will be reduced, that its top end acceleration, whatever that means, will be reduced. So not it's 0 to 100, but maybe 0 to 120 or above. So I don't know what that means for its MRA, but it's definitely not going to be as strong as it used to be. And the thing about this car is that when you compare it to other RQ89s, 3.6 for a 0 to 60 is garbage. So the real thing that made this car so strong was how it performed on the long straights. We're talking 1 mile plus, or 0 to 175, or 0 to 200, or whatever it is. And if they're going to reduce the top end acceleration, they're basically nerfing the only thing that made this car so special. So it's a big nerf in my opinion. Very big rip to the GT3 RSR. Moving on, this is a war crime. The next 3 cars are war crimes. They are killing the Mazdas. They're adding a bunch of new Mazdas, and I'm sure a lot of them will be really good, but they are also killing the OG Mazdas. First of all, the MX-5 100% is not going to be Blossom Choice anymore. With this new update, I think it's big enough where I will be introducing a new Blossom Choice list. But yeah, this is definitely getting kicked out. 79 to 77 is a massive blow. Rest in peace, the MX-5. Another one is the BBR as well. Oh, where did the BBR go? Oh, did I delete the BBR? I think I accidentally deleted the BBR slide. Well, the Mazda BBR is also getting a massive nerf. It's going from 83 handling to 81. So basically, wherever the Dodge Demon couldn't win against the BBR, it will win against the BBR after this update. The MX-5, this one also another war crime, is getting a massive nerf from 80 handling to 78. Now, moving on, we have the Mazda RX7 Turbo. It's going from RQ44 to 40, medium ground clearance to low ground clearance, so that's not very good as well. Now, moving back onto the buffs, the Ford Bronco Raptor is getting a massive buff from RQ65 to 68. It's getting a massive handling buff from 69 to 72, and it now has traction control as well. Moving on from this, the Lamborghini Gallardo is going from RQ85 to 82. It's getting a massive nerf in its 0 to 60 from 3.2 seconds to 4.0. Now, this begs the question, like, is the 0 to 100 going to stay the same? Because if the 0 to 100 stays the same, that means it actually gets a massive MRA buff. So there is no notes in the patch notes where this car is getting a 0 to 100 change, whether it be an increase or a decrease. So for now, I'm gonna say it's a nerf, but not a war crime. But if the MRA does not improve, then it's definitely a war crime, and it definitely shouldn't be legendary. Moving on, massive buff. 919 Hybrid Evo is going down, so it's cheaper to use, 113 to 112. That being said, the handling, as if it wasn't good enough, is going from 102 to 104. That is incredible. Truly incredible. Another car getting a massive buff. Happy owners of the Navara will know that your car is going from 105 to 107, but it's gonna get an improved top end acceleration. Basically, it's gonna kill the Jesko now probably, and the 0 to 60 is increasing, or decreasing I should say, from 1.9 to 1.7 seconds. So yeah, rip my Jesko attack, I'll tell you that much. Rip my Jesko attack. The Navara is the top dog, and is definitely going to hurt that I didn't win one of those. Next up, the Jaguar XJS Trans Am is a buff in my opinion, because the RQ is staying the same. Handling is also staying the same, but the weight is decreasing by almost 400 kilograms, from 1,800 to 1,429. So this car was like very strangely heavy, and it would perform like really badly on things like slalom and car park, although it handled really well. So now that it handles, now that it's a lot lighter, I think it will be a lot better on cars like on track sets like slalom as well as car park. So I think that's a minor buff to the Jaguar XJS, which caught my fancy. Lincoln, the reflection concept, I mean, yeah, immigration, I guess. I just thought it was pretty interesting because there's like the third Chinese car we're getting in the game. So yeah, from the US to China. I'm noting this with a red background. I'm saying this as a negative because who the hell wants to migrate from the United States to China? Subaru Impreza Group A is another nerf. RQ 80 to 80 isn't changing RQ, but the 0 to 60 is changing from 3.9 to 4.2. 0 to 100 changing from 7.9 to 8.5. It's really getting a nerf as an on-road car. As an off-road car, it's still fantastic, because let's be honest, 0 to 60 means nothing when it comes to the off-road meta. What really matters is that handling score, and yeah, as long as the handling doesn't change, the Impreza can stay as an RQ80. This thing could have like a 5.0 0 to 60. I wouldn't care, just call it an RQ80, sure, whatever. But yeah, it's a slight nerf, I guess, in terms of on-road. Now, Mitsubishi Lancer Evo 8260 is getting a massive buff from RQ 68 to 71. It's getting a 0 to 60 decrease from 5.8 to 4.9, and it's gonna get a horsepower increase by a incredible 1 horsepower from 261 to 262, and that is going to be it, because the next slide was from a video from like a long time ago. But anyway guys, that's gonna be it for today. Let me know down in the comments below if you are excited for update 20 or update 2.0. I think no, it's definitely update 20. It's update 20.0. But yeah, let me know down in the comments below if you're excited for this or not. But anyway guys, that's gonna be it for today. I'm gonna stay safe, wash your hands, and blossom out. Peace.
Bro, this song just makes me so happy.
Me too.
Imagine being Asian in the 50s, looking nifty, leather jacket, looking sleek, look like Presley, look so deadly. Got a jukebox back at home, feeling jazzy, turn it on and play it slow, like the movies with the ladies.
They so fine.
Imagine being Asian in the 50s, looking nifty, leather jacket, looking sleek, look like Presley, look so deadly. Got a jukebox back at home, feeling jazzy, turn it on and play it slow, like the movies with the ladies.
They so fine.
Sit back, relax in my Bonneville Pontiac. Hold tight all night, cruise to Jacksonville,
Atlantic.